live stream workshop. I haven't done this on YouTube before. I do regular workshops on my Instagram page, Danny Conscious Living. So this is something new, and I hope that you find this very helpful. So my name is Danny. I am a spiritual and holistic life coach, and I help people get in touch with who they are, connect with their higher self, and begin to remove subconscious programming and habits and emotional trauma that they've been holding on to for a long time. And that just leads me straight into what I actually want to talk about, which is manifesting, because that emotional trauma and those habits that we have, we also can end up manifesting if we're not knowing what we're doing. So let's back up for a moment. So manifesting, so for those of you who have found this video or are tuning into the live as it's happening, will be familiar with the concept of manifesting, law of attraction, and all the spiritual talk that we hear. So just to go over everything, the key principles, if wanting to manifest our goals and our desires, we need to understand how the process works. So in the world that we live in, everything is energy. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Quantum physics shows this. And it also shows that our thoughts and our feelings are also frequency and energy. And we have a direct influence on the environment around us through thoughts and feelings, through frequency. So, when you have a thought and when you have a feeling, it's creating an electromagnetic field. Thoughts have been shown to be the electric impulse, and the feelings are the magnetic. So, when you think of something and you couple it with a strong feeling, a strong emotional charge, it then creates the vibration that you are putting out to the world around you. And everything that you put out vibrationally gets reflected back to you in experience. It becomes the manifest in physical form. Now, the issue with this is this works for the good things that we want to manifest, but also the things we don't want to manifest. We are talking about universal law, and we're talking about energy, which is inherently neutral and meaningless. There's energy that we would term as negative or positive, or in alignment or out of alignment. But it depends where on the spectrum a particular frequency is or what it's programmed to be. For example, you could have a lot of fear and a lot of beliefs related to lack and that you're not good enough. That energy is inherently neutral, but the definition that you are giving it is a much slower vibration, and a vibration that would not support your highest self and your highest alignment. So therefore it doesn't feel good because it doesn't resonate. But we don't realize that we still take that as truth if we've been programmed a certain way. If we've been programmed to believe that we're not good enough and that we're always lacking things, then that's how we're going to feel. And if we believe that and feel that, that's the vibration that we are having and emitting, and that's what's going out to the universe. And the concept and the principles of the law of attraction is that everything we put out comes back as experience. So then you are going to start receiving more experiences, more physical circumstances that proves to you that you are lacking and then you're not good enough, even though it isn't actually true. By nature, you are part of the whole of life. We are all interconnected. We are all naturally abundant beings. It's all to do with the programming and the definitions that we give things in life. So, in short, we manifest through thoughts and feelings, through energy vibration. Like attracts like. So what we put out is what comes back to us. So before I go into about how we can manifest things, like if you're looking for you want to manifest your ideal relationship, better job, more financial health, more health in general, or whatever it is, with those key principles in mind about the manifestation process, I just want to quickly go back to the very beginning when we're born. Now, if those of you who follow my videos, or particularly my YouTube shorts, I do post a lot about beliefs and the subconscious mind and our core beliefs, and what we put out comes back to us. And this is very important to be aware of, because when we are born, for the first 7 years of our life, we are in what's known as the theta brainwave state, which is like being in a constant state of hypnosis. Okay, so when we are young children, we don't have any logical or analytical filters present to determine, discern things, distort things, and file things away. We are literally like we're like a receiver receiving downloads all the time. And these downloads are going to determine what our core beliefs will be. So it's very important to look back at what our core beliefs are and what happened in particular for the first 7 years of our life. Because if we find ourselves going through life with these habits or these feelings of not being good enough or lacking certain things, or always finding that we have this feeling of abandonment or don't belong, for example, then we need to look at some of the experiences that we had in our childhood. Maybe you wasn't given the amount of love and attention that you felt that you needed to when you were younger. Or maybe you witnessed people around you in certain behaviors and you've taken on their habit patterns as well. Because it's what our belief system we hold is going to determine our identity that we have in our minds, and therefore what we're going to think and what we're going to feel and then what we're going to manifest. Now, a lot of people who are familiar with manifesting and the law of attraction will probably have heard of affirmations. And affirmations are a tool that's used to help bring things into reality. Affirmations are affirming statements. Can be positive or negative. They are phrases that you repeat time and time again to help to shift your mindset and create a more positive mind frame. I say positive and negative because affirmations in a negative connotation can also be effective as well. We can have negative affirmations that create negative experiences. But when we go to manifest something, if we are not clear on how we are thinking and how we are feeling, we're going to get different results. So, the key principles of how the law of attraction works is like attracts like, and what you determine as in your reality now is what will be reflected back to you. Because another concept, or not just a concept, a principle, a very key principle and divine truth, is that there is only the present moment. There is no past, there is no future. What we call the past are just past memories, and what we call the future is just future concepts that haven't happened, have not yet happened, and may never happen. The only moment we ever have is now, the eternal now. And it's what we are putting out to the universe now is what is going to be reflected back to us. So, if we are constantly thinking of wanting to manifest, let's say, a better health or a new job or a relationship, for example, if we want to manifest that, then we need to act and feel like we've already got it. If we keep thinking about, oh, I want this relationship, I want this health, then we're going to be putting out to the universe that we want. And so the universe will reflect back to you, okay, I will give you more I want and give you more reasons to want, but not actually provide you with what it is that you desire. The key is you need to begin to feel like your manifestation has already happened. That is how you begin to bring those experiences to your life. If you just keep focusing on the lack, then that's all you're going to manifest. Because, like what I said before, the universe is infinitely abundant. The problem is when we feel that we are missing out on something and when we are lacking something, we are actually not experiencing lack. We are actually experiencing an abundance of lack. Because if we feel that, as I said before, if we programmed when we were younger to feel we were not good enough, that we were lacking everything that we needed, and we're never going to have what we want, that's the feeling that we're going to have, and therefore that's the vibration we're going to put out to the world around us. And the universe, in its infinite abundance, is going to show you every reason in abundance why that is true, because it's only going to act as a mirror to what you say. So, therefore, there is no lack, but if you are programming the universe to keep showing you lack, it will show you that in abundance. But if you change the program to abundance, that I am always going to get everything that I need, I'm always provided for, there's abundance everywhere for me, and the universe is going to keep constantly showing me different ways to receive this abundance, then the universe, in its infinite abundance, will provide you scenarios where you're always receiving something. It is literally like we are the tuning forks, and the universe can only give us back what we put out. So when you want to manifest something effectively, you need to feel that you've already got it and it's already in your present reality. The other thing to be mindful of is what I spoke about earlier is what is your subconscious beliefs? Because another reason why many people come to me and many clients that I've worked with that have said affirmations don't work for me. I say, okay, so how many times do you say your affirmations? They may say, oh, I'll say them once, twice a day, but I really try and mean it though. And I'm like, okay, well, if you said it once or twice a day, how many other thoughts have you had throughout the day that have told you every reason why your manifestation won't work? And that could be hundreds. Because the thing to remember is the subconscious mind is much more powerful than our conscious mind. And our subconscious mind has so many beliefs, so many core values and principles that we've had from our childhood. And this could give us a lot of reasons to think that our manifestations will not work. Because, as I said, if we are growing up thinking that we are not good enough and that we are lacking, if we then suddenly say, I'm infinitely abundant, but then you go and check your bank account and you don't see that abundance in your bank account, or you've got your parents telling you every reason why you shouldn't spend money. Money is really hard to come by. We've always lacked money. We're never going to get anything that we really want. If you're going to focus on those feelings, that's going to be the main energy that you are going to put out to the universe. So that will block your affirmations from working. So it's really important to see what your core beliefs are, because we can easily, without realizing it, resist and block our affirmations from working. This would be from our own limiting beliefs. So it's not that the affirmations don't work, it's just that you might be having more limiting affirmations instead. So the answer is to look and see what your core beliefs are and to understand that, okay, what are the areas in your life that aren't working? What are the things that you want to manifest? And why haven't they manifested for you? What limiting beliefs do you actually have? So, for things like money, for example, money can be a really difficult one for people to manifest because they feel that they're not lacking. They feel that they're lacking money and they've never had it. And no matter what they try to do, there always seems to be a block that's preventing them from getting the money that they want or having a job that they enjoy and a job that gives them the money that they want and the enjoyment. So, the answer is to take a look and see what beliefs they have regarding money. Is there any limiting beliefs that they have that is preventing that from coming to them? And the way to understand that is to see where those thoughts came from and re-identify yourself, change the meaning behind it. Another example, if you grow up and you've not been shown the love, care, and attention that you feel that you need and that you're not good enough, well, it's going to be very difficult to get the confidence that, first of all, you can even manifest. A lot of people feel, oh, I don't think I'm powerful enough to do that. I can't manifest. But we're manifesting all the time. We are conscious creators. We are always in an exchange of energy. So you want to reframe your beliefs. Now, I don't know what limiting beliefs that you may personally have. But let's say, for example, someone's been brought up with not much love, not much affection, and they feel that they're not good enough all the time. Now, if they've got this pain, this insecurity that they've had, they are going to keep looking for things to prove that they are good enough. Now, this can result in finding relationships that you can become overly reliant on. This is what can cause a problem in relationships when a lot of people come to me and say, why is my relationship not working? How can I manifest a better relationship? Again, you need to look and see what beliefs you have about a relationship. If a lot of people who don't have the love and affection that they felt they needed when they were younger tend to look for other people, in usually in the form of an intimate relationship, to get that love and security that they've desired, that they're basically not feeling for themselves. And this is what can then create like a codependent relationship, or a relationship where you become so reliant on having that you're frightened of losing it. And it can then create unhealthy habits that may actually make that relationship from not working. Because if we have these limiting beliefs based on the past beliefs and past experiences, that's going to manifest in various ways. It's going to block the manifestations that we truly want, and it's going to potentially disrupt any other thing that we've got going on around us. It all goes back from childhood. So you want to look, okay, and recognize my father, for example, never gave me the love and affection compared to my siblings. I always felt I was left out and second best. So then, if you can remember those experiences when you were younger, and then see that throughout your life, you've always essentially had the mindset that I'm not good enough, I'm second best. Because that's a belief that's working on in the background in your subconscious mind and making you feel a certain way, those emotions and those feelings are going to contribute to your point of attraction, the vibration you're giving out. And because you are believing that to be true, like what I said earlier, you need to act and believe that what you want to manifest is true here and now. The universe will provide that. Well, unfortunately, with these subconscious beliefs that we can get from childhood that are usually from an emotional experience or emotional trauma, because we've grown up not being conscious of these thoughts in the first place, they have become these core beliefs. And a core belief will have the core feeling that will contribute to the point of attraction. So you realize then, oh, all this time, I've been putting the energy out there, I'm not good enough. Because all from my dad not showing me the love and affection, making me feel that I'm not worthy of this love, I'm not good enough. So therefore, I need to do all these things to prove to myself that I am good enough, or I need love from my partner, from all my friends, from this, from that. And that's what I'm going to be putting out there. And because like attracts like, that is a very good reason why a lot of people tend to manifest the same type of relationship that they had with their parents, with their partner. Or if they find if people find themselves in repetitive abusive relationships, it's because the same patterning is there, maybe just with a different person, and maybe the circumstances are changed slightly, but the principle is the same. That's why people can keep on manifesting the same situations, because if you're not addressing the root beliefs behind it, then the universe is going to keep coming back and sending you more things to represent that belief. So you need to be really honest and look at what limiting beliefs you have. Where have they come from? This is where we talk a lot about shadow work, dark night of the soul, and doing the inner work. So when I work with clients in my coaching programs, for example, I always start with what are the core values and core beliefs that the client has right now. What are the goals that they want to manifest, and why hasn't it worked? What seems to have stopped them from working in the first place? Why do they feel they have to come to a coach to help them? Why have they not been able to do it themselves? Now, this is good because this helps to show us where the limitations are. So you can do this with yourself. If you write down the things you want to manifest, or write down the areas that aren't working, look at the things that you've been wanting to manifest and try and manifest and it's not worked out. Well, say to yourself, okay, do I potentially have some limiting beliefs about these things? Am I actually blocking my own manifestations from working? For example, I never get a relationship to work out. Why is that? Have I got a guard up? Do I have this feeling of not being good enough? Or money doesn't seem to be coming to me. Do I have a lack belief about money? Or has my health has been suffering? Why do I keep having these problems with my health? And begin to identify what your beliefs are behind these issues. And what you can do also in the meantime is use affirmations. Now, quickly going back to what I said at the very beginning of the live, is that when we are born, for the first 7 years of our life, our brains are in what's called the theta brainwave state, which is the brainwave state of hypnosis. So some other ways that you can help to reprogram the subconscious mind is to access that theta brainwave state, which is like the brainwave state of hypnosis, which is why hypnosis works very well, hypnosis tapes work very well. And the reason why those work well when people go to sleep, for example, is theta is the brainwave state just before delta. It's the in-between stage where we're just about to fall asleep, but not quite in full delta yet. So that's why, because the subconscious mind always hears everything, even if the conscious mind is sleeping. So that's why those sort of tapes are very effective and very helpful, is because it still goes through into the subconscious mind whilst you are sleeping. But of course, another way, that this is why affirmations can still help pierce through, is when you think, what else do you do that creates a new habit? Repetition. So saying affirmations consistently will help at the very least begin to loosen up some of these rigid beliefs. there is many different techniques that you can do that help remove the emotional charges, because the main things that will block your manifestations from working are these core beliefs, or any beliefs that you have that have a very strong emotional charge that is basically saying the opposite of what your intention is. So, for example, we can be carrying a lot of emotional wounds, a lot of emotional trauma that we have not dealt with. And anything that has that had a highly emotional charge, or highly traumatic or emotional event, is much more easily stored in the subconscious mind than it is in the conscious mind. And a memory, that's why if you look back at some things that you can easily remember, some of them might be very traumatic, some of them might be very positive. It's usually what created a big emotional reaction. It's easier for the mind to remember. And very commonly is that when you have those, usually fears, because fear is a big block, if there are some associations that you've built up, because that emotion is still there, it will block any other affirmation from working, because there is this resistance. So you want to kind of free up that emotion. That is something for another live stream. We want to stick with the affirmations, for the affirmations and the manifestation process from this live. I will go in the next workshop about how we can remove the emotional charge. But for now, affirmations can still help get through into the repetition. Now, if you have emotions and trauma that is blocking you from your manifestations from working, affirmations, when you say an affirmation, it's more than likely that it might not work, because that emotion is there, that fear is there, that resistance is there, that will act like a block. But a way around that is, if you don't know how to release that energy, or you're not too sure what the blockages are, just rephrase your affirmation to "I am willing." If you was just to say, "I am healthy, I am abundant, I am loving, I am lovable," and you don't really mean this from these core beliefs that you still need to uncover, or still need to release or change, if you just say, "I am willing," that is good enough to begin to loosen up that resistance, because you're saying to the universe with the words "I am willing," because consciously you recognize you want to make a change, you are willing to on some level. The problem is, subconsciously, and usually a part of us that we're not aware of, doesn't want to let go. And that's the bit that we need to change, but it's the bit that's very difficult to access. But if you are willing to change in the level that you can be, the universe will respond to that. And the way is to keep saying, "I am willing to change. I am willing to release this resistance. I am willing to let go. I am willing to love myself." To help loosen some resistance, put your hand on your throat and your other hand on your heart. I would put I think the camera might show it the other way around, but this is actually my right hand. Put your right hand on your throat, which is the masculine energy, so the feminine energy, and put your left hand on your heart center. And say 10 times, "I am willing to release all resistance. I am willing to release all resistance. I am willing to release all resistance." Say that 10 times, as many times a day as you can. Now, the reason why that is effective, multiple ways, is you're saying an affirmation that's saying, "I am willing." By saying "I am willing," you are being open to change, even if part of you, and even if it's the subconscious part, doesn't want to fully change yet. That is easier to at least get into than just simply stating, "I am changing right now. I am going to change. I am changing. I have changed. Change is upon me." And if you've got a lot of fear and resistance, it's like, "No, it's not. I don't want to change." But saying "I am willing to change" is much softer, and it will help to begin to loosen up some of that energy and some of that resistance. With your hand on your throat, that's effective as well, because that will, placing your hand on your throat, you feel the vibration of your voice, because everything is energy and vibration. So it helps the cement in your mind feel the vibration of what it is that you are saying and what is going out into the universe. And placing your hand on your heart, because your heart is very, very key. It's been shown for example, in things like meditation with heart-brain coherence, that feelings of gratitude or elevated emotions helps the manifestation process, and it also helps improve our our heart coherence and brain coherence. It helps us to become more receptive. So by placing your hand on your heart and on your throat while saying your affirmation will help you to tune in and think in terms of energy and vibration even more. So that's a starting point. But the other principles to remember with manifesting is having the feeling that it's already happened, believing that it's already happened, and separating I have from the I want. Don't say an affirmation with the words I want or I will have. Don't put future concepts in there. Don't put future word concepts in there. Make it all about the present, here and now. Then part of the process is also to allow and trust and let go. Let go and let the universe take care of all of the details to how your manifestation works. The other thing area is to look and see where your resistance is. Be open to the fact that part of you might be resisting the change that we want, and that's okay. So it would just allow yourself to look and see what your core beliefs are, what your inner feelings are on these topics. Make a list of all the things that you want to manifest and the things you seem to be struggling with, and look at what beliefs that you have. You might be able to recognize some limiting beliefs and thoughts from your childhood, and then look and see if there's any emotional charge that is still being carried over. It'd be very interesting to see when you look back and take some time to look, okay, I've actually got some resistance here. I'm willing to change that. And that's where you would say, I am willing to release all resistance, as an example. Then, as well as saying that, you can still use your affirmations by I am willing to love myself. I am willing to receive more money. That helps to soften the blow from this fear, which we often do have, which I'll talk about in another session. Fear of change. We have a lot of resistance, and that is all from fear. But I hope that these have been at least a different take or some interesting insights on how you can manifest. And I hope this was helpful for my first live stream workshop on YouTube. I will do a few more of these. Hopefully we can get some more viewers in soon the more I do this. But if you are interested in this video, please do give it a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also check me out at Danny Conscious Living on Instagram, and you can also reach out and contact me if you're interested in any coaching sessions. I do offer a free 20-minute coaching discovery call session where you can talk about any issues that you'd like to work on with me, and I can see how we can help, and if this is something that would resonate for you, then we can begin to work together. There is a link in my bio on my YouTube, or there is a link on my Instagram page to my Calendly page where you can book a date and a time with me to book in a 20-minute session, and we can go from there. But this has been my first workshop on YouTube, my first live stream. Hope to do many more. I'll put this on the replay. It should be uploaded, so if anyone's tuned in and has missed it, you'll be able to see it on the replay. Any comments and feedback that you have will be wonderful. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.